Please begin.
All right. Like she said, I am Bryn and I'm a data scientist for SAIC, and I'm here today to talk to you about synthetic analysts, which is, and specifically how we have developed a prototype to integrate machine learning into the doctor's office. So first off, what is synthetic analyst? It's an AI platform designed for mission-specific capabilities. So it's designed to integrate and interoperate between the tools and databases in a mission environment in order to answer a specific question or query by developing the proper workflow and then processing that workflow. And thirdly, providing the output with a step-by-step breakdown of how that answer was reached by moving through the tools and databases in the environment. So in the healthcare setting, what this would look like, some of the modules that synthetic analysts could access would be EMR data, patient history, insurance database, perhaps analytics about decision rules for what billing codes to use when and for which insurance companies. And of course, machine learning algorithms. Some of the previous presenters talked about how there's been great headway in research for diagnostic capabilities by deep learning algorithms. We partnered with an ophthalmologist and through him the Heidelberg Engineering, which is one of the manufacturers of OCT scanning machines, and we developed a deep learning algorithm to identify wet macular degeneration and dry macular degeneration from OCT scans. We got about 99% accuracy and 98% area under the ROC curve, which someone mentioned and defined earlier. That's a measure of performance, and that's competitive with the current best-in-class for retina imagery. This is for an ophthalmology practice. But then the question is, how do we leverage algorithms like that to actually work in the doctor's office? And that's where synthetic analyst comes in, to facilitate the pipeline for the doctor from when the OCT scan is taken to diagnosis to the generation of the insurance form and billing for the physician. So what you see on the screen there are the different modules that synthetic analysts would be accessing, among them the deep learning diagnostic tool, which it's receiving from the OCT machine, and then the EMR database, which is combining with the output of the identified pathologies from the scan, and then also a layer for the doctor's validation of what the machine learning algorithm found, because the doctor is still the expert in the room. They need to still check and see that it was the correct diagnosis. And finally, automatically populating the correct fields in the insurance form. And what is this impact? Doctors, first off, can save time and money by reducing the back and forth between doctor and their billing person, between the billing person and the insurance company, which can take weeks to actually get paid out for the services provided. And because of that, doctors can focus more on patient care and treatment instead of paperwork from the side of the insurance companies. They will have validation from a machine learning algorithm backed by hundreds of experts as opposed to just one, that when the ophthalmologist uses a very expensive drug for wet macular degeneration injections, the patient actually needed that. And patient offices can also remain up to date with the best in class for machine learning algorithms.
Thank you very much, Bryn. And you're up.
Can you walk us through that ophthalmic use case again? Just like give us the real world plain language use case.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the doctor's office, you went to the doctor because you have been having problems with your vision. So he puts you to the OCT scan machine, which is looking at slices of your retina. From the OCT machine, it'll go to a machine learning algorithm. And this is all happening behind the scenes, by the way. It sends the scan through the algorithm. The algorithm outputs what pathologies or diseases, or not, hopefully not, came through in that scan. That shows up alongside your patient history and all the other information in your EMR, alongside the scan for the doctor to see what diagnosis the algorithm predicted. He can then make corrections or accept and confirm that. And on the doctor's end, it'll then filter through and auto-populate the insurance form with the proper codes from the pathologies that were actually found in the scans. Does that make sense?
And are you competing with DeepMind and others who are really leading the retina space, or
No.
how do you think about that?
That's another part. We are just the integrators. Part of the whole point of synthetic analyst is that, yes, we developed a prototype. We developed an algorithm to prove that this works, but we want doctors to get the best-in-class algorithm. They don't need to use ours. And part of synthetic analyst modularity is that you can, as there are continuous research iterations made, you can swap it out with the next best algorithm, whichever that happens to be. Because yeah, DeepMind, they've done some excellent research and are probably currently best in class for retina diagnosis specifically.
So your value added here then is you're going to help the doctor with throughput.
Yes, yes. And I didn't get to this point, but not every doctor, every specialist is as experienced as a patient would like them to be. So if they can leverage through a machine learning algorithm some of the expertise of other experts in the field to have more confidence in their diagnosis and provide better care to more people, that's definitely an advantage as well.
So, Bryn, in 1991, I sold systems similar but very early generations that helped doctors identify CPT codes and ICD-9 codes so that they could bill better. And it was really about how to make how to help the doctors make more money off of their cases. Here, I was kind of confused about what your message is, because you mentioned filling out insurance forms, which is about generating income, but then you were also talking about diagnosis. So where is your sweet spot, and what are y'all really going after here?
So I think that's honestly going to depend on the values of the doctor. The doctor we originally partnered with, he was an expert at the top of his field, so he didn't necessarily care about the diagnostic capability of the algorithm, but he did care about the fact that based on the output of that algorithm, it could automatically populate the insurance. And he was losing a lot of money from the back and forth with small mistakes on the insurance forms. And so to have a validation layer that then the insurance company can also have confidence in.
So at the end here, we get 5 minutes to, we get a little bit of time to comment about the presentations, and I'll hold off on some comments, but I do think that y'all need to decide what market you're going after, because one is to help the doctor generate more income, one is to help the doctor be a better doctor. And as a patient, I am concerned about the second, not the first.
Right. Yeah, no.
All right. Thank you, Bryn.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.